That's right.
Welcome to Attack of the Show. I am Dave Holmes.
Yeah, nice to have you back, Dave
Thank
Holmes.
you.
I'm Candace Bailey.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm talking for myself.
And what? Yeah, go ahead.
What a fun show today,
Take
right?
it. Be proud of yourself. You're a beautiful, talented woman. Be proud of yourself. Clap for yourself. Damn it. And what a great show we have got today.
Such a fun show today.
So
Fun job.
exciting. Kristen Schaal is going to be here. I love her.
She's so
She's
cute.
so funny. She is so adorable.
She's on everything.
She's on Bob's Burgers. She's on 30 Rock.
And everything else in the world.
Yep. Also, Mike Relm is going to be here.
Yes.
Don't spin it and cut it.
Yes.
He's our Spinderella for
So
today.
fun. Such a fun show.
Exciting.
I
So
have
what's
a
new
little
with
story
you?
to tell you.
Fire away.
Last night I was at the gym on my stair climber,
Sure.
and I looked to my left and I'm like, wow, that person has fabulous, full, thick, luscious hair.
Oh, I think I know where this is going.
Turns around, it's Fabio. Fabio is at my gym working out, and I kept on looking over because I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Fabio, I'm pretty sure that's him. And then we made eye contact and I'm like, yeah, it's him.
Yeah, so-
But then, just to make sure it was him one more time, I decided to walk past him to go act like I was going to do some crunches somewhere. And so I'm like, you know, being all sneaky, not,
Sure.
you know, like.
Oh, is that? Is that how you did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I did.
Two things. First of all, if that's how you did it, you weren't being sneaky.
Oh, that's not
To
sneaky.
disabuse you.
That's not sneaky.
No, it's not at all. That was very. I caught you. And also, how did you react? How did you?
I giggled.
You giggled. See, that's exactly it. That proves my point. Okay,
What's
I
your
have seen
point?
Fabio, and I giggled.
Yes.
My friend Paul, who is a comic, worked with somebody who had just run into Fabio and came in laughing and told the story of running into Fabio, and he was like, you know what? That's rude. Fabio is a person, and it's probably like that for him all the time. Like he sees people, and they see him, and then they laugh like he's a person. But then Paul, like a week later, was at a stoplight, and Fabio pulled up next to him, and he started laughing. Because that's what you do.
It's what you do when you see Fabio. I guess it is. That's what everybody does.
You laugh when you see Fabio. It's
well,
great.
he must be very happy that he's able to bring so much laughter to the world.
I hope that he is telling himself that, as opposed to, I am a terrible joke with goose in my hair.
No, it was.
Remember? That's a deep cut. That is a super deep cut. Do you remember when he got hit with a goose?
I heard about it. Yeah.
Oh, we should do a little vintage around the net and play that one, because that's some good stuff right there.
We should. Unfortunately, that's not one of the videos I have for today.
No?
No, sorry. But we can go around the net anyways.
Why not? Let's go around the net.
I do not look like Indiana Jones. Y'all, really quick, I want to look at a Twitter wall, but Benson108 says I look like Indiana Jones today. Do I really?
Actually, two people.
Two people think that?
Well, that's good. He's good. He's an adventurer.
I want to be Indiana
They make you
Jones.
think of, you remind them of Happy Adventures.
Indiana Jones wouldn't wear these, would he? No.
That's true. That's true.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
It is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Ellen DeGeneres is doing her part, I'm sure, by conducting free breast exams.
Oh, Candace. Candace.
I said it. I said it. Also, she had on Liam Neeson, who agreed to raise awareness by showing some skin.
Okay.
Liam, come on out. Oh my God, if someone's just tuning in, you look naked in there.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
That's really fun. But how does that save breasts?
Oh, they are going to shrink Liam Neeson down, inject him directly into a breast, and he's just going to punch cancer right out.
Okay, so like instead of the wolf puncher, he's the boob puncher.
He's the boob puncher. He has a unique set of skills that makes him a nightmare to breast cancer.
And now the folks at Bad Lip Reading got their hands on footage of Republican Vice Presidential. Sorry. Thanks.
We'll do another take.
Yeah, let's just start from the beginning.
Okay.
And now, the folks at Bad Lip Reading got their hands on footage of Republican vice presidential candidate Paul Ryan talking directly into the camera and went above and beyond the Call of Duty to bring us his video diary.
Oh, boy.
It's the Paul Ryan video diary. Woo, party time. I'm in a band called Steak Baby, which is like the best band I've ever been in. We have a guitar and a song that's about my favorite color. Orange space monkey, don't break the couch much. I don't wanna move my food. I don't wanna move the cat. I'll make a sandwich, I'll help a moose. Hop on the pickle for your parents. Here's some other names we're considering. Booty reactions, tree pie, slutnik, brown disease, camel sausage, sailor boar, big sweet owl, granny chops, flack, harpoon your boyfriend.
Well, here's the deal. That is about as much sense as Joe Biden makes at all times. That is Joe Biden's baseline.
It should be very interesting.
Yes, indeed.
I love that he lives in a dorm room and has a Nickelback poster in the background.
There it is.
Did anybody ever really like Nickelback?
Somebody must like Nickelback. They sell millions and millions of records. I have never met one person who will admit to owning a Nickelback record.
I won't either. I never have. I have one. I have one.
You have which one? Which one? Which one?
I don't really.
Oh,
I don't really have one.
Stop it. Candace, you're.
I'm
They're
just joking.
trickster.
I'm a jokester today.
They really are.
And
They're
now,
not that bad. They're just
they're
just
bad.
not that good.
No, they're bad. And now you remember this summer's viral pop sensation Gangnam Style, right?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
yes.
just in case you don't, let's
do.
replay it.
You don't have to.
No, let's just watch
Oh,
it. Come on.
jeez. Please don't.
Let's see.
오빤 Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yes, I know. I know.
Yes,
I've heard it. I've seen
everybody
it.
remembers that. But here is Gangnam Style a little more subdued. Take it away, Psy.
오빤 Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 인간적인 여자. 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는. 커피 11도 전에 원샷 때린 사람. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. 오빤 Gangnam Style. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you tooted! Gross. My favorite is the carousel.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's my favorite version of the song. It
Yeah,
really
mine
is.
too, mine too.
I would play that in the club. Up until that end part there, I could do without that. It's also the quietest that Korea has ever been. South Korea, that is. North Korea is always that quiet. They don't have a choice.
That's
kind of a bummer.
That is all the Around the Net we can find today.
Okay, still ahead, we are going to find out whether or not it's possible to be addicted to the internet.
And 2 words, bikini, basketball. It all makes sense after this.
Stay tuned.
Summer may be over, but AOTS is still bringing the heat with special guest hosts like Horatio Sands, Michael Costa, John Barrowman, and Rob Hubel. It's Attack of the Show every weeknight at 7, 6 Central, right here on G4.
Welcome back. Protesters are in the news again. What year is this, 2011? Y'all won Time Magazine's Person of the Year last year. You should have quit while you were ahead. Here's the deal. What makes these protesters newsworthy? Well, they rallied in support of workers on strike outside of a Walmart in Elwood, Illinois. Pretty normal so far, right? But then, 17 leaders of the protest sat down and blocked an entrance to the center where the Walmart was located so they could prevent goods from arriving or leaving the warehouse. Again, standard stuff, right? But here's where it gets weird. Walmart deployed scary-looking riot dudes and an LRAD vehicle. Now, for those in our audience who've never participated in the overthrow of a government, an LRAD is a long-range acoustic device. That is a fancy sonic weapon that sends pain-inducing tones over long distances. Even though it's much cheaper just to blast Mumford & Sons on some crappy Walmart speakers. Am I right? Best-selling album of the year so far. Crazy but true. Banjos and everything. Anyway, now to be fair to our corporate friends, the protesters were blocking one of the most important transportation and distribution hubs in the world. So it's possible the private army was policing the entire area and not just Walmart's interests. Now, obviously, I would like to side with the protesters against Walmart, but their Faded Glory polo shirts are so cheap, I just wear them once and toss them. They're not even worth washing. So, hey, protesters, why don't you just complain about stuff on the internet like the rest of us?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's say you've got an itch for being on the internet. And by itch, I mean you're up until 3 a.m. every night obsessively playing Facebook games and reloading Gawker. Well, friend, I've got good news and bad news for you. The bad news, you might have a serious problem. But the good news is the psychiatric community might be about to take it seriously. According to Slate.com, internet addiction will be included in the next edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, otherwise known as the Big Book of Crazy. While it's not yet officially considered a treatable mental illness, internet use disorder will be listed as a condition recommended for further study, which should be a huge relief to anyone who's lost a friend to World of Warcraft. Pour some out. Pour some invisible stuff out. Internet addiction is getting the extra attention because some studies have shown that for internet-addicted people, there's no difference between drug use and clicking through a HuffPo slideshow on hunky bald men, as I did earlier today and got busted. Danny DeVito, he's a hunky bald man. It's just the brain interpreting the signals it receives as pleasure and then demanding more pleasure, please. However, because internet addiction is so new, it's still unclear how to actually define the condition. So we're hoping further study can figure out the answers. And most importantly, confirm that checking Twitter every 5 minutes is totally normal behavior, because I don't have a problem. I can stop anytime I want to. I will tell you when I've had enough. I'm fine, you guys. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to take a photo right now. There it is. And I'm going to hashtag it, not addicted. There we go. Send. I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. Now, ever since the Mesoamericans started tossing ulama balls across dirt taste courts back in 1600 BC, I don't know either. The world of professional team sports has been pretty much dominated by men. That's not to say the women haven't tried to get something started. There was the short-lived All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which spawned a wonderful movie and did all right until men ruined everything by not dying in World War II. There's a little hitch in their plan. And then there's the floundering WNBA, which 15 years after its creation still trails in viewership behind, you know, camel wrestling, chess boxing, the World Pulled Pork Championship Eating Contest. You know, the championship eating contest, that's a popular one. So what's a girl to do? Well, the answer just happens to be the answer to about a million other questions, and it's this: show your boobs. Introducing the Bikini Basketball League. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Jiggly girls playing the time-honored game of hoops in revealing swimwear. The league's mandate seems to be pretty simple. They are, one, looking for girls that can really play, which is good because otherwise they would just have to call it bikini nothing. And two, looking good in a bikini is a must, which also makes sense because otherwise you would just be watching really bad basketball. The league is set to debut in the summer of 2013, and it features such teams as the Chicago Desire, the Orlando Lady Cats, and the Hollywood Hotties. All real. But it's just a matter of time before we see some expansion teams like the Cleveland Cleavage, the Hoboken Hobags, the St. Louis Low Self-Esteems, the Denver Daddy Issues, the Silicon Valley Silicone Valleys. Now, we could really spend all day doing this, but we're not going to hog all the fun here. Why don't you tweet your expansion team with the hashtag boobsketball, and we will check in later in the show, see if you make the tweet wall. Do it, it's fun. Put on your thinking cap over the commercial break. Still ahead, Kristen Schaal from Bob's Burgers is going to be here live. Oh, it's going to be delicious. Stay tuned.
Who rules Bartertown? It's not Master Blaster, it's G4. We are bringing you the Road Warrior and Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome for a day of post-apocalyptic fun. So let Mel Gibson's epic adventures ease any pesky worries you might have about those crazy Mayans. The Mad Max double feature starts October 20th at 3 on G4. And make sure to check in to getglued.com for an exclusive Mad Max sticker.
Chili. Yeah, Weston Scott sure is.
It's a fact that nobody, and I mean nobody, does chili quite like Cincinnati. And if you're going to make the trip out here, you got to stop at one of the most famous chili joints around, Camp Washington Chili. Serving Cincinnati chili heads for over 60 years, Camp Washington Chili is known within the community as the place to get your fix, anytime day or night. The menu includes coney dogs, chili with spaghetti, and the house special, the gut-busting 5-way.
Whenever I have visitors in town, I bring them to Camp Washington just so they can get a taste of Cincinnati chili.
And there's one man who's been here through it all, the patriarch of Camp Washington Chili, and that is Johnny Johnson. So, John, you came over from Greece in 1951
That's correct.
with what I hear less than $20 in your pocket.
This is our place. That was my dream, to have a nice place.
Now, how many people know this secret recipe for your chili?
3.
Three.
My wife, she knows how.
Okay.
My daughter, Maria, and my son-in-law, Jim.
Because you got to keep on going. This place is a legend.
That's true.
It's got to be carried on.
That's true, yeah.
How many gallons of chili are made on a Monday?
That kettle holds up to the top 60 gallons.
So you're doing 60 gallons of chili almost every day, 6 days a week.
Correct.
How about I get back in the kitchen and you can show me how to make it?
Well, I can show you, the chili kettle and the spices and the meat are mixed.
And the recipe?
I can stir it. The recipe, it's locked up in the vault.
Okay. Okay, John.
Yes, sir.
I am all Camp Washington.
You look sharp.
Two fingers from
Now
the brow.
let's look inside here.
Getting right to work.
We're not finished yet,
Okay.
And all the beef is here and all the secret spices.
Wow. So this is 60 gallons. Now this is going to go for one day, and then you guys will be.
One day. Tomorrow we'll
That's
make it on this side. Now, you try it.
All right. This is the biggest amount of anything I've ever stirred. The whole bottom is meat. Meat is one of your secret ingredients, but it's not so secret in this chili. I'm salivating. I'm not gonna lie. I'm smelling like cinnamon. I'm smelling beef. I'm smelling just chili. There's no other way to put it other than it's just enough to make you hungry, even if you've already eaten. All right, so John, we've stirred the chili. We've gone from that. Now, your cheddar. And now this is like close to what? Like 20 pounds? Close?
Close there. Yes.
And you go through 1,000 pounds a week of this?
Yes, sir.
This is only 20 pounds, and they go through 1,000 of it. So John, now that we got the cheese, we can take it, put it to use. You're gonna teach me how to make
5-way.
Okay, I'm just trying to keep up with Johnny. 77, he's kicking my butt.
Let's make a 5-way.
Show me the magic here.
Okay. First, we put the pasta.
Just by looking.
Just looking. We're gonna cover the pasta with chili.
Okay. Yeah.
Now we're gonna put the beans, the onions. We're gonna put the Wisconsin cheddar cheese.
I can see why you go through 1,000 pounds a week.
And
That's a lot of cheese.
Camp Washington famous 5-way.
So John has just shown me how to perfect the 5-way. It's hard to repaint the Mona Lisa, but I'm gonna try. Order up, 5-way. I think it's time for me to sample it. That is quite good, sir. Now, I'm gonna finish up this 5-way. Thank you so much for introducing me to what I feel is the perfect combination of almost everything I love right here in one plate. Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for you guys coming here.
Okay. I'm gonna finish this, right? And then I don't have to work until later, right?
Okay.
All the news you need to know.
The feed.
It's Wednesday, October 3rd, and here are your top stories. This morning, news broke that sources inside Apple are saying mass production on the long-rumored iPad mini has begun. Yeah. This seems to confirm speculations that the device will be introduced at a press event on October 17th. Now, to refresh your memory, the mini will feature a much smaller 7.85-inch screen and have a lower resolution than the third-generation iPad. But rumor is this is part of a plan to make it much cheaper. This would make it a good alternative for people who can't afford the standard iPad and would also make it more competitive with other 7-inch tablets like Google's Nexus 7 and Amazon's Kindle Fire.
user. Sources are saying the iPad mini could be available as early as November 2nd, but hopefully we'll find out for sure later this month. Now, next, watch out PC users. The FTC has uncovered a major international tech support scam that has already defrauded thousands of people. News broke today that the feds are pressing charges against 14 firms and 17 people for impersonating major companies like Microsoft and Dell. Apparently, these scammers targeted people using telemarketing and, in one case, Google Ads. They would convince unknowing consumers that their computers were plagued with viruses and offer to fix the problem remotely. Then the scammers would charge these people hundreds of dollars to fix problems that never even existed. The FTC says most of these fraudulent firms are based in India and have been targeting consumers in English-speaking countries like the US and Canada. Not cool.
No.
It is not cool. And today we have some exciting developments from the entertainment world. Here's what's happening. First, the Wachowskis are looking to the small screen with what will be their first TV series called Sense8. Details about the concept are being kept quiet, but word is they've been developing the idea for years with J. Michael Straczynski, who will be the showrunner. You might know him as the creator of Babylon 5. The Wachowskis are expected to write and partially direct the series. They're still shopping for a network to air Sense8, and I hope they hurry up and find one because I can't wait to see it. Next, Honey Boo Boo is getting her own character on South Park. Yes, cartoon versions of the toddler and her mama will appear in tonight's episode. Apparently, Honey Boo Boo will come face to face with Cartman as she searches for a pig with a sassy heart. Oh, and Hi-Oh Silver, the first trailer for The Lone Ranger has been released. Get ready for lots of guns, trains, and horses as Tonto, played by Johnny Depp, takes us on a thrilling adventure in the Wild Wild West. Here's a look.
I want to show you something. From the time of Alexander the Great, no man could travel faster than the horse that carried him. Not anymore. Imagine time and space under the mastery of man. Power that makes emperors and kings look like fools. Whoever controls this controls the future.
There come a time, Kimosabe, when good man must wear a mask.
In theaters next year on July 3rd. And in other news, here's another reason to stay away from New Jersey. Zombies will invade Asbury Park this weekend for the 5th annual New Jersey Zombie Walk. Oh, hey, it's Walking Dead star Norman Reedus. What are you doing here?
Sarah, watch out, you got zombies behind you. I'm so sorry. These things are so much harder to shoot in real life. I'm just an actor. I apologize.
Hey, well, Sarah Underwood and I've just been shot in the neck with a crossbow. I'm gonna go to the hospital. Can you take this over, you dick?
Hell yeah! Woo. The new season of The Walking Dead starts next Sunday on AMC. Stay tuned. The very funny Kristen Schaal from Bob's Burgers will be here live.
And beautiful beautiful and talented Kristen Schaal returns to Bob's Burgers this season. Take a look.
I want this to be the sugar high I never come down from. Okay, bad start, bad start. Let's keep moving.
Trick or treat! Here's some oyster crackers. Now, get out of here.
Trick or treat!
Is it Halloween? Here, take some deli numbers. You'll be the first in line tomorrow.
Trick or treat!
Some delicious seaweed candy from my solo vacation in Singapore.
Wrap it up, Charles Dickens. You're not being paid by the word.
Please welcome Kristen Schaal. Hello, Kristen Schaal. How are you? Such a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
I am such a fan of your work.
Oh, thank you. You too. I'm a big fan of you.
Thank you. Oh, let's just talk. Oh, that's all we're gonna do for about 15 minutes.
I like you.
I like you too.
I like
and it makes me so happy to see you everywhere and
Oh.
hear you everywhere. You're everywhere. You have a wonderful voice.
Thank you.
Beyond Bob's Burgers, which I absolutely love. You were in Toy Story 3.
Yes.
Was that just an incredible dream come true?
Yes, it was. It was when you get the call from Pixar, you jump and they. It was actually therapeutic too because my whole life I've been terrified of dolls coming to life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a specific fear.
It is. It is. My brother told me this story when I was in kindergarten about how a China doll arrived and like if you touch it 3 times, it like in the middle of the night it would come scratch your eyes out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it got more detailed, you know, and it was very specific, like how many times each family member would touch the doll, and then that night the dad, and then the mom, and then lastly the little girl lost their eyes.
Of course.
And I sort of projected that story onto a doll in my room, and I couldn't touch her, but she was staring right at me as I would like lay in bed to fall asleep. Like basically my whole life.
And then you became a talking doll
And then
yourself.
I became so I got over it.
Okay.
'Cause I'm all right.
So now it's full circle.
What a hip audience!
Yeah. There's a delightful young actress from 2030 right now who's terrified of your talking doll.
Oh yeah, probably. But she's gonna overcome it and be strong.
That's right. Be a strong woman with tattoos.
With tattoos. These are fake tattoos that I got at they're Louise's bunny ears on a skull, and I just don't wash them off.
Right. Leave them on. They're either.
So I look down and I forget I have them, and I look down like, who's this tough bitch? And I'm like, oh, it's me.
It's you.
Me.
You're the tough bitch.
Yeah.
You're a tough bitch, Kristen Schaal. And you just moved to Los Angeles from New York.
Don't tell anybody.
Should I not? I'm sorry. We'll do another take. No, we won't. It's live.
No,
it's live.
I know, because there's a shame with leaving New York, and I definitely feel it.
Yeah.
Because everyone who's in New York is so tough and cool and like, you know, gritty.
Yeah.
And you sort of move to LA because you want to just relax and eat seaweed.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone to know that about me.
It's great out here, Kristen Schaal. It's great.
It's really
beautiful.
nice.
It's beautiful every day.
Yeah.
I lived in New York for many years myself, and I loved it. But I look back on it now, and it's like, no, it was miserable. I wanted to project that I was hard, but I was just angry and miserable and cold and wet.
Yeah, you just sort of put on an armor and you just sort of let your eyes go out of focus as you just like plow through the masses of humanity to get to like the next place.
Yeah. It's a good life. It's a wonderful city, but it's just...
It's the best city on earth, hands down.
No, sure it is.
It really is.
It's great.
The subway system, you know, even though I screamed at, you know, empty train tracks time and time again because it hadn't shown up, it does, it threads the city together. It keeps it moving.
Sure.
The best stand-up audiences, hands down, are in New York City.
Well, you don't know that yet. There are some good ones out here.
Are there?
There really
Do they
are.
have
There really are. I'll help you find some.
All
So
right.
when you were an up-and-coming comedian in New York with these great audiences, what were some of your bad day jobs? Because I had some terrible ones.
You
for
did?
sure.
What
Oh,
was your
God.
worst job?
Well, my last one, I worked at a temp agency. I worked the overnight shift, putting together presentations for investment bankers. Who I was like 27, and they were starting to be like 25. So they'd be younger than me and yelling at me, like yelling orders at me, which is terrible. But the worst part, and this is not about me, but the worst part was that the temp agency was called Mademoiselle. So every time I checked in, they paid well.
Yeah.
But I had to, hi, Dave Holmes, Mademoiselle. Every single day, it was the worst. Anyway,
I did
yours?
the same thing. I was in a law firm, the law firm business, where I was kind of like a paralegal, but like a step down.
Yeah.
But I would take we were fighting Enron, and I was on the side of the SEC. And so we would take stacks of documents, and they'd make copies for the other side, and I would have to go through and make sure each copy that the copy machine got it right. So you just basically like look at them and then just be like, looks good. And this was my life, for days and days. You go a little nuts.
Those are the worst. Temp agencies are just full of hungover comics and writers.
And musicians. Absolutely, yeah. You do your tour and then you go back on for 6 months.
Exactly. So glad it's all over, right? And you worked at Planet Hollywood for a while, too.
I did work at Planet Hollywood.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's kind of big.
It was.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I thought it was my big break.
Well, sure, we all do.
Hollywood.
We all do. Just going there, even just going there for a drink that's blue and, and an onion that's fried.
You're just looking around like Lana Turner, just thinking that maybe it's not the next Robs. But
Someday.
Yeah, it was bad. It was just a terrible job, and the tourists that it attracted were people who I guess were assuming they could get all of America in one shot by having a Planet Hollywood in Times Square. But yeah, it was bad. And
Awful.
Bruce Willis, he was part owner, and I hosted his party, Unbreakable, I think, at Planet Hollywood. And later, I saw him at an awards show, and I was like, I used to work at Planet Hollywood. But he didn't know how to take it.
Yeah, of course not.
He just didn't know his employees.
Yeah.
If he knew what I went through, I kind of want to tell him. Is there can I look in the camera and tell
Will
which
you
one
please?
is on me?
You're not getting out of here
Which
until you
one's on
do.
me?
So do it.
Hey,
there you
Bruce
go.
Willis, you need to take better care of your employees at Planet Hollywood. You need to not have them tip out of their sales tax. They should be tipping out of their tips. Duh. Thanks.
Tip out of the sales tax?
Yes. For
Unacceptable.
a tourist pit. Well, you have people from Scotland. I'm sorry, Scott, but you're the worst.
Yeah, they don't know.
Read
They
a
don't know
book.
they're supposed to tip.
Read a book before you come here.
They make books. They make Lonely Planet books. It'll tell you a good 15% minimum.
Yes. Tip.
Oh.
They won't tip. They're like, oh, we had a great time. We're on our way to the airport. Here's some pennies.
Right.
And then I had to tip out of my sales tax 5% to busboys, 5% to bartender, and 5% to the runners.
Right.
And sometimes I wouldn't have any money left for me.
Oh. Gotta pay $5 before you even leave Planet Hollywood.
Yeah, I
out
had
of your
to
own
pay
money.
them for letting me toss Demi Moore's secret recipe for crunchy chicken.
Right. And the table's all mad at you because you're not Gretchen Mol or whoever it was at the time that it was supposed to be hanging
Gretchen
out.
Mol was hot at the time.
Right, yeah.
She's still hot.
Sure, of course.
Don't lose it.
Absolutely. Kristen Schaal, I could talk to you all day. We're going to stay here and keep talking. Bob's Burgers Halloween episode airs this Sunday on Fox.
Oh, yeah.
And now, take it over. Kristen Schaal, thank you so much for being here. What a pleasure. Now let's head over to Candace.
Thank you. You are so precious. I love you. And it's time to attack these headphones. Tired of that lousy factory standard headset that comes with every console nowadays? Tell me about it. Need to get the most out of every headshot? Then upgrade to the Triton AX 727.1 surround headset. Plug into your console and transport yourself into the heart of your favorite game with this 3D sound experience. Enjoy the freedom of adjusting game and voice audio separately, bringing your mama jokes to new heights. I don't know. Head on over to TritonAudio.com and snag yours for $150. Now, if you are anything like us, then you can't wait for November 13th when Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is released. Am I right? But if you're a true COD fan, then you need your very own signature headset by Turtle Beach. Unveiled at this year's Gamescom, these phones come in 5 different models, ranging from the Bluetooth-enabled Ear Force Tango to the discreet Ear Force earbuds. Every set features a sleek Call of Duty color scheme and are sure to make you the envy of every multiplayer campaign. The whole line ranges from $70 all the way up to $300 and will be released in October. Now check out turtlebeach.com for more info. Now, if your needs are leaning more toward actual music listening headphones, I've also got you covered with the limited edition Dead Mouse headphones by Soul Republic.
Designed by web designer Joshua Davis and Deadmau5 himself, this headset is specifically geared to handle the dynamics and powerful bass of Deadmau5. The two also decided on a fun and energetic design that every mouse head will love. These headphones are available from now, soulrepublic.com for $150. Go get them. Stick around. You like that, don't you? Mike Relm drops by live in studio. Pop it and lock in, maker.
Tomorrow on Attack of the Show.
Stock up on ammo. Steven Yeun from The Walking Dead will be here live with advice on surviving the zombie apocalypse. Then on Gadgetron, Matt Meyer rates Nintendo's latest handheld, the 3DS XL. And Grace Helbig stares down the big man himself, Liam Neeson, when she checks out Taken 2.
It's Attack of the Show tomorrow at 7.
Mike Relm! Mike Relm! Welcome.
Thank you.
You are here with the new Pioneer CDJ turntable. Now, CDJ turntables seem to sort of have become industry standard, right?
Oh, they're getting there. Yeah.
So is vinyl on the way out?
For me personally, I use vinyl, and there's still certain things that you cannot do with CDJs and digital technology that you can only do with vinyl. Kind of like film versus digital cameras.
Right.
Yeah.
There's an actual physical thing with vinyl.
Yeah,
where
if you're like scratching and stuff.
These are digital files.
Yeah.
So I want to go over sort of broadly some DJ terms, some like important things that you need to be able to do that this thing can help you do. Loops.
Loops. Loops are little chunks of a track that if you were to play it over and over and over, it makes sense. It's on beat all the time, and it just keeps going, and you can release the loop, and it plays a song.
Gotcha. Okay, and this thing will help you do that?
Yes, it does that. Yeah, right in the box.
All right. So hot cues. What's a hot cue?
A hot cue is these buttons here. You can assign sounds to them. So like I can do this.
Right. Gotcha.
And that never gets old.
No. I listen to that all day. And notice here that the BPMs are sort of matched up. BPMs, beats per minute, right?
Yes.
Important thing for a DJ.
Very important.
To keep in mind,
Very
right?
important.
To match up. That's why I would be a terrible DJ. This thing sort of seems to have them automatically matched up, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it mixes for you, but it mixes for you. Yeah.
So this right here is the CDJ 2000 Nexus. So let's talk about the hardware on this and what makes it different than some of the older ones.
It's got Wi-Fi capability, which means you can import all your settings from your songs and playlists and everything wirelessly.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
That's very cool. It's very cool. And it looks like you got your phone plugged in here, so you can just bring in your own files, plug it in, you're good to go.
Yeah, and you just have it. I mean, your entire set can be on your phone, in your pocket. Just load it up, and you're good to go.
Right. And it just shuffles them back and forth between these, matches up the beats.
You just plug it into one, and again, the beats are matched, so you don't have to worry about all that stuff, and you just pick, focus on song selection and effects and fist pumping and whatnot.
Fist pumping is a very important thing.
It's key.
This will not pump your fist for you.
No,
you still have
that
to,
is completely manual.
That is still
keep that in mind.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't do everything. This LCD display is big and beautiful. It's an improvement over the last model, correct?
Oh, big improvement. Yeah, you can zoom in really tight on the waveforms, so you can get a really close look at what's going on, or pull it back and kind of see the whole song.
Right.
All at the same time.
What's the sync feature all about? I heard something about the sync feature.
The sync feature these two guys kind of talk to each other. So again, with the BPMs, you're matched, and if you're sliding the speed on one down, you don't have to worry about the other one being off beat, especially because you can sync up 4 at a time.
Really?
Oh yeah, that's a party.
Okay. There's no fist pumping with 4, right?
With beat syncing, it's possible.
Wow. The fist pumper of the future has some options here. So what are some of the changes to the software?
They have basically you prep all your tracks on your computer or on your phone, and then bring it in, and you don't have to look at it while you're playing.
Right.
It's kind of a pre-production kind of thing. But I mean, it's super easy.
All right. Well, I want to see this thing in action. I'm gonna get out of the way.
Let's do this.
I don't want to get hit by an errant fist. So, Mike Relm.
hip hop.
Mike Relm. Well done.
Thank you.
This became clear real fast. So, if you want more Mike Relm awesomeness, you can check out his new mixtape at MikeRelm.com. And now, let's peek inside Tim Burton's brain for a ghoulish tale of a boy and his dog.
Maybe the hardest thing a boy must cope with in his life is losing his beloved dog. Unless, of course, you're Victor Frankenstein, in which case, death is a non-option. You're alive! From visionary director Tim Burton comes Frankenweenie, a stop-motion animated film about a kid who resurrects his dead dog and unknowingly sparks a trend in pet revivals that threatens the lives of everyone he loves. So Frankenweenie for you is a passion project on so many different levels. Can you talk to me about the previous incarnation and its history?
I did a short many years ago, and it was sort of based on a story based on memory of a relationship with my dog when I was a kid. You know, there's something about a pet that's unconditional and it's quite a strong first relationship.
You'd think that a movie about dead pets would be kind of creepy, but it's not.
Because it's not really, like, it's not like a horror movie, really. I mean, it has, like, references to the old, like, monster movies and stuff, but it's not, like, meant to, like, scare people, really.
Your dog is alive!
Why does black and white lend itself so well to horror films?
I think the black and white just gives it a certain power, a certain primal. It's almost like going back to, like, a dream state. With stop motion, it also, because of all the work that the artists have put into like building the puppets and the sets and all, somehow it makes it feel like you're actually there on the stop motion set. And so it gives it an extra reality even more. It's a bit too much texture to me, but maybe a little bit of that.
Can you talk to me about some of the challenges that you faced with the sets and everything?
Well, you know, depending on the shot, it can take an animator almost a week to do a shot, you know, so I mean, it's a very, very tedious but artistic process, so that's the toughest part, I'd say, of the job.
Hey. Playing Edgar, when you saw him on the big screen, were you so happy or a little weirded out that he looks like you?
I didn't think he looked like me. Thanks.
One of the characters that you play is the weird girl, and she is the fortune teller of the bunch.
Something big is gonna happen.
Can you elaborate on how she reads omens?
Whiskers the cat poos, and then she reads the poo.
Mr. Whiskers is trying to tell us something. Did you get that out of the litter box?
Why did you choose to use cat poo as the thing to read omens?
Well, I always find cats a bit weird, and it just somehow felt like a natural way for cats to communicate.
The puppets, the props, and the artistic vision, unmistakably Burton's. The sum of its parts alone make Frankenweenie a unique and enjoyable experience.
I can fix that.
Show today. We had like so much going on the show.
I really let's just keep going. Yeah. Forget the debate. Let's just stay on the air. We got fun people here.
How about we just come back tomorrow?
Okay, we'll come back tomorrow. Many thanks to Kristen Schaal, Weston Scott,
Tiffany Smith, you, Dave Holmes,
Candace Bailey. Good night, everybody.
We will see y'all tomorrow. Good night.
Good night. Watch the debate.